What is up, Teach Better family? My name is Jeff. It's 5 o'clock Eastern time, which means this is your Teach Better Brain Break for Wednesday, April 6th. I've got my good friend, Dr. Dave Schmittou here, and we've got our very good friend, our Ohio friend, Megan Anderson here with us, a longtime friend of the team, a longtime adversary of Dave. It's going to be fantastic. We're excited you're here. If you're with us live, drop into the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Do you have a drink with you? Do you have a snack with you? What are you taking a break from? And let's just keep it going in the comments as well, because it's going to come up. Ohio State or Michigan. Let's see where the comments end up. We'll do 2 hearts for Michigan and 4 hearts for Ohio State, if you can figure out why that is. And we'll be back in about 15 seconds. All right, welcome back to Brain Break, where we talk about life, nonsense, and sometimes some semi-important topics. And the fact that I even said semi-important has Megan all sorts of nervous now. I can tell from, we told her before that we have like a little bit of a flow, and she's like, I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. I want Brain Break where there's nonsense. So we promised her the nonsense is still here, which is why Dave is here. But we are live every Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern time on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. I'm mixing them all up. LinkedIn, Truth Social, wherever.
If you're watching us, you found us.
We're on everything. You can find us. Megan, it is awesome to have you on Brain Break.
So excited, almost like Molly Shannon style.
Ooh. Are we going to start talking pit drip?
Yeah.
We can go with pit drip again if we need to.
Sometimes I get a little nervous like that.
I get the pit drip and yeah.
Well, then you know what happens, Jeff? I end up getting my collegiate Ohio State game face on and like, yes, let's do this.
Don't cry. You don't need to cry, Megan.
No, it's not crying. We're not used to that, Dave. Where I am and where Jeff is, we're not used to that. So
I'm a Browns fan, so I'm very used to it, but not at the collegiate level, at least.
Lions fan, right? Yeah. I think it's right around there too.
Megan, this isn't your first time on Brain Break, though, is it?
No,
you've been on here probably multiple times, right?
This is my second time.
Second. Wow,
so I'm excited. I'm very excited to be here, and want to give a huge shout out to all the assistant principals out there. Right, it is assistant principal week. Not that where not everybody else is important, but those co-pilots.
Not this week, they aren't.
No, not I guess. But this, co-pilots really supporting our pilots, especially this year and the years before. So,
Megan, I don't minimize the role of a co-pilot or a navigator. Go back, 1986, Top Gun, when Goose died. What happened to Maverick? He was a mess, right?
Didn't know what to do.
That's right. Pete Mitchell fell apart without his co-pilot. So remember that. Goose held the ship together. Goose is the one that got them into Top Gun to begin with. So, Megan, it's
true.
You're my Goose.
We watched it. My husband and I actually watched it last night. He was pretty into it, which was exciting.
He's getting stoked for May 27th, isn't he?
He is. Yeah. So am I. We're huge moviegoers. So, and I always like the true and inspirational based. And he tries to tell me that's based on inspiring stories.
It's definitely inspiring.
But I don't know if it's true, but it's still good. We'll take it.
I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that the original Top Gun was an adaptation from a real life story of what Dave Schmittou would become one day. That's what I heard.
This is true. Yeah.
Like sort of a foreshadowing prequel something to your life. Yeah.
I am Iceman. Just remember that. I am Iceman.
I don't know. We probably shouldn't build them up that much, should we, Jeff?
Well, I was about to say, I also heard the same about Risky Business, but that's a whole other story. We'll go there later. Megan, you've been a friend of the Teach Better family for a long time. You were, I think, one of the original and now a long time member of the admin mastermind, and always in there with us and stuff. But just in case there's anyone who's watching that doesn't know you, can you do like the quick
Elevator.
who am I?
Elevator.
You can do it doesn't have to be like, I mean, it could be like a long elevator ride if you want. We have a lot of time to fill and we don't have much to say.
Jeff will probably read off though at some point.
Go ahead, Dave. Are you tired?
And we're done. So
so I'm Megan Anderson. I have the amazing privilege of being an assistant principal here at Cherry Hill Primary, which is in Washington Courthouse, Ohio. So we are in between Columbus and Cincinnati. I have about 600 kiddos that I am blessed to learn from every day and 75 incredible staff members. So I've been in the educational world for about 14 years. This is my second year in this role. I'm a Teach Better ambassador as well. Mom of two incredible little girls, Brielle and Reese. One is a special needs child, and they're both first graders in my building. So our building's pre-K to 2. So I have one more year with them before they go to the next building, which makes my mama heart super sad. And it's crazy that time flies by that fast. And then my husband, we have been married for, it'll be 11 years in July. So he fully supports every crazy part of my life. And, I did a podcast with Dave, and I told Dave this. I didn't send it to my husband for a good while. Like, I was just like, nah, he's probably not going to be interested, right? He listens to me talk all the time. Finally, he's like, you never sent me that podcast you did with Dave. And I was like, oh, you wanted to listen to it? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So we listened to it, and that night we were sitting there, and he's like, you know what? He said, I see you as a mom and I see you as a wife. I guess I don't really understand the impact that you have in education. And he goes, like, the way Dave introduced you and just listening to you, like, it's incredible what you do, Megan. And I told Dave, I'm like, you know what? That podcast could have sucked. And the fact that my husband just gave me that affirmation was just amazing. So thank you for that, Dave. But a big shout out to him, because he really has followed me every step of whether being a special needs mom, a wife, friend, and he's a good one. So I appreciate him and all that he does to support me.
Boy, you took us to tears right off the bat. Dang.
And I love how she did it. So I couldn't interrupt her, right? She started like going, be confident, talking about her amazing husband. And I'm just like, all right, she's going to finish this story. So well played.
I'm curious, Dave, does your family, and I know your kids do at least a little bit because they joke about me intense, but I'm not sure. But like, does your family ever like listen to the podcast that you do and all the different live streaming stuff? Or is it like, I'm pretty sure mine never do. And I'm pretty positive it's because they're like, we're cool. We don't need to hear anymore. But like,
one kid that does. So with all of the stuff that ends up on YouTube, like there'll be random times I'll be sitting downstairs and all of a sudden I'll hear my voice upstairs. I'm like, what are you doing? And I go up and they're watching one of our things on YouTube. I'm like,
my kids will do that with my TikToks, but
that's crazy.
Not any of this stuff. And I don't know. I mean, so occasionally they have. We've had them jump in the comments once or twice, like maybe once on a brain break, but.
So this is kind of a cool story. So a couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity to hang out with Megan Anderson and her amazing kiddos, and mom and dad as well. It's like an amazing family reunion. I brought my family with me. And when I was telling my kiddos who we were going to go meet, my son, Caden, he's the one that's always watching me on YouTube, actually said, isn't she from Ohio? So he knew who Megan was before we even got there. It's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. And what I'll say is like Teach Better family is, oh my gosh, like I don't even think there was, sometimes there may be awkward silence when you're meeting somebody. Like it was so seamless.
It was just awkward. There was no silence.
Just a whole lot of awkward words.
No, it was not awkward. It was amazing. And, I have a nonverbal child, and just Rachel, his wife, just fully embraced my little girl who had her talking device, and my mom and dad loved it because they're like, who are we meeting? Why are we meeting him? Okay, all right, sure. Yeah, he's family. Okay, bring him on in. So it was awesome to just finally meet Dave in person. But not only not just Dave. but his family. I was really excited to meet.
Curious, Megan, when you met, I'm curious because the first time I met, it was actually the first time Dave and Chad met. I was there, and we met in the lobby of the hotel before we went over to work with the client. And for me, I was like, it was so weird that they hadn't met. When I had only, that was only I think the third time you and I had actually met in person, but it was so weird because you just feel like the relationships are there and we know each other. And I don't know, Dave and I first met. I don't know when it was. We met in person for coffee, but even then, it felt like we already knew each other. Mm-hmm. And by the second time we met each other, when we came down and played golf, it was like to me, it felt like
talking trash to each other. It was
I felt like it was like the 15th time we played golf together, let alone only the second time we had actually ever been, in person. It was just interesting. So, Megan, when you met, you specifically, was it almost like you didn't realize it was the first time meeting because it was just? So you guys have a pretty awesome relationship. I've been in a lot of conversations with the two of you and the back and forth and the love that you share and stuff. Did it feel like it wasn't the first time for you? Yeah, does that make sense? The question that I'm asking.
Yeah, I feel like that's a deep question.
Yeah, well, you took us to tears. We're going deep in this.
No, it was. I mean, I talked earlier about being an Ohio State athlete and how firm that friendship. But meeting Dave, it was like that. I probably, I could probably go 5 years and still meet Dave, and it would still seem like we were family and friends. And I think that's the one amazing thing. I mean, there's so many great things about Dave, but one of the amazing things is what you see with him is what you get. And I think when we meet people on Twitter, right, we have these conversations with people on Twitter and we start following them. And I think that's one of the great things about education. We just want pure, authentic people and leaders, and we want them to build us up, but we also want to have those tough conversations where they're growing us in those processes. And I think that Dave is actually, he's that, but he's more than that too. So yeah, there's no awkward silence. It's just pure, authentic conversations from educational to family to personal, so many different things. And I think that's one of the great things, not just about Dave, but the Teach Better family. And even those of us working extremely hard in education, we have a passion and we have a vision, and it's what really connects us in the end.
For full transparency though, Jeff, we did have a few margaritas. So
that doesn't hurt. It's all good. Megan, are you coming to the conference?
I know Dave asked me. He's like, "Are you coming to the conference?" And I was like, "Okay, it's all. I've got to." I actually reached out to Eli. I want to say a couple weeks ago. I was like, "Eli, are you coming?" So I want to be there. I want to be there.
Are you telling me that you're not coming unless Eli comes?
No. Okay. I was just asking.
Don't get me wrong. If we can use that to get Eli to come, that'd be great. But I want to make sure.
I was because Eli and I did the mastermind as well too on Tuesday nights. So no, I reached out to him just to see if he was coming too. But I know it's in Akron. My brother graduated from Akron Law School.
Oh, really?
So I feel like maybe I need to hop on up to Kangaroo Country, right?
We're right next to campus too. So the parking deck that people park in for the conference is a U of Akron deck. So
okay,
right
I need to meet more people, not just Dave.
Yeah, you need to come.
I agree.
Broaden my horizons, and I don't mean.
I'm seeing a bunch of people in our comments that are all going to be there too. So
okay.
Gotta be there.
Brianna Shaner. So Brianna would be an amazing one to carpool with. She's another one that I got to meet down here in person.
That's right.
Jeff, have we been able to connect here?
We have not. No, not in Florida at least. We've connected. I came to Michigan, and then you came to Ohio.
It's true.
And then I guess technically you came to Ohio that next time. So I guess it is my turn.
A lot more often. You've been here.
I've been to Ohio. Well, yeah, but I guess it's my turn to go to Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we need to play Highway to the Danger Zone, something like that.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, that's officially how. Whenever I do come down, Dave. I don't know if either of you are How I Met Your Mother fans, but there's a Halloween episode where Ted's in his apartment and he hears Danger Zone playing, and he's like, and he opens the door and Barney's dressed in Iceman with a boombox. I'm like, that's gonna be me outside the door. That's how I'm going to do it. So I got to figure that out now, but that's the plan. My wife will help me.
Okay.
That's good. Okay. So I just want to be clear that everyone watching, we Megan did just commit to coming to the conference. That's
what I heard too. That's exactly what I heard.
That's what I heard. Okay. Check. All right. I don't even know where to go now at this point.
So just for transparency though, so Megan, we need to plan this ahead of time because I know that it's the time of it's harvesting season, right? Your husband spends a lot of time out in the fields, so we got to put this on the calendar now so that he can get the tractor all geared up and do all that he needs to do so that you're available to come on up because I don't want whatever's in the field right now to get in the way of that. So let's plan ahead.
It won't because, like I said, that's my dude. He supports me in every part of this.
Sounds like he's gonna be too busy to notice anyway. He's got crops to take care of and stuff. She'll just be able to sneak off. Bring the kids.
Done. Bring your kids. Yeah, bring your kids. I'll watch them. It's all good.
The kids
can have anything to do those couple days. So
they can hang out at registration. There's gonna be a whole bunch of folks there that would love it.
I was thinking I'd drop them off in the combine on the way.
That works too.
That works too. If you want to do that, that's fine.
So edit out what you just said. Bring the kids, please.
You need a vacation, guys. Sorry, no kids. No kids.
We'll go with that. No yeah, that's fine. He's your dude. He'll take the kids. It'll be fine. Yeah, no worries.
Good.
Okay.
This is like a country song. We could come up with lyrics for this.
I think we got a new game for today.
It's our country song?
It's our country song. We play it
dropping at the kids off
called Drop the Kids on the Combine.
Dropping them.
Drop them on the combine.
Sounds safe. Sounds real safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure why you chose me for this break.
We were completely out of options, to be quite honest with you. We literally went through I've got an old White Pages phone book here, and I went through and called everybody I could find. And I
circled back up to
let's go to Ohio again, I guess, and whatever. No, honestly, the real reason, to be sentimental right back at you, truly, like when I think about people in this world, you epitomize for me the relationship. You are the person that, if I could pick somebody to be like my sister, it would be somebody just like you. It would be you. This person that is caring, compassionate, kind, but yet can make me feel this big at times or can make me feel this big at times, right? It's that amazing dynamic where we can just be real and funny and authentic and all the things. So that's why. Looking for somebody that can grow me and humble me at the same time. And that's you.
I don't do either one.
No. And I always need somebody better than Jeff to hang out with. So I've done this long enough with him. And I want somebody better. It's truly my way to subtly start pushing him to the side. So
it makes sense. Can I make this all about me for a second?
No.
Yes.
I'm still sitting over here wondering if my wife has ever listened to a single podcast I was on. Like I said, but like a lot of people don't realize that I've been on like 50 or so podcasts that are like in the business world and stuff. I don't think she's listened to any of them.
Just eliminate the debate. No, she has not. She has not.
So is it safe to say that clearly she doesn't love me? Is that what we're like?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we came to right now.
Yep.
I feel like I'm putting a lot of pressure on husbands and wives right now, or families, or if they listen or they don't listen, or whoever. I feel like I've thrown some people.
So I'm
going to send Amy a message real quick and tell her this is the first podcast she needs to listen to right here. We want her to listen to this episode.
When we flip to the next segment, Dave, I got a lot on my mind now. So
I know what you're thinking.
I'm thinking at this point. So
I feel like I've backed him into a corner, and nobody puts me in the corner.
Let's get into it, and we'll see if Megan can take us in a better route than where Jeff is in his sorrow right now. So we're going to transition now into a segment that we call "What You Thinking." I say it's so much like less fun than Dave.
That was lame. Welcome back to Brain Break, everybody. We got lots of shenanigans, lots of deep conversations, lots of amazing people, and we're streaming it in all the places: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I don't know if I missed anything or not. LinkedIn. So I always miss the professional one because it's Brain Break, right? But we're back, and this is honestly my favorite segment of Brain Break. I do like the games. I like getting to know people a little bit better. But beyond all that, I love knowing what's going on in your brain. So, Jeff and Megan, I don't know if you've given it any thought, but I am curious. What you thinking? So, last segment, Jeff, you started sharing some deep thoughts and worries that you have, feelings of insignificance at home, feelings of inadequacy, feeling like you're not loved and supported.
Yeah. We're not going to go there. We're going to leave that in the past.
Okay.
I do want to note something. Mandy Frederick was on last week, and we talked about the video for this, where how it has like the bar going. That we think for Brain Break, it should like stop in the middle and like get stuck and then just like fall apart or something. But that's another story. So that was what I'm thinking right now.
Okay.
I want to know what Megan's thinking. So I'll do my best Dave impression. What you thinking?
Oh, that was good.
That's pretty good, right? I've been working on it in the mirror.
That was good.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have an accent like to go along with this. So I don't know. I know where to go with this, but okay. So this is what I've been thinking lately. Okay. This is crazy because you're probably like, really, out of all these, this is what you're thinking about. But I have been redesigning my office space.
Ooh, okay. That's fun.
I know something to start with. I see something that you can rip off the walls right away and give it brand new life.
Why do I even try with this?
Megan, you say the word and I'll drop him right out of this street. We'll go to a duo here.
I
I was talking about the whiteboard.
Oh, the whiteboard. Oh, the whiteboard gets him.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I do have some blue in here, okay, Dave? I do have some blue. I didn't ask you what you were thinking. You asked me what I was thinking.
I'm sorry. To be fair, Jeff asked. Like, no, go ahead.
That's a good point.
Because
so what's the or what we're seeing right now, is this haven't been rearranged already, or still thinking about rearranging, or where are you at in the process?
Yeah, I'm in the process of it. So I came back from spring break. I visiting Dave in like the frozen tundra of Destin, Florida. I brought cold weather with me, and I came back and I was like, I feel like my office is really closed off, and it looked very business-like. Not that I'm not business-like, right? Because I can have those moments of just having business conversations, but I felt like I wanted this space in my office to be, come in, let's talk. Whatever you want to talk about, let's talk. So I removed one of my huge desks. This space is very open. And it was kind of crazy because I think I scared my principal a little bit because we come back from spring break and my desk is gone and he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm absolutely okay." I said, "I just want to create this space where everybody knows they can come in and talk." From our students, like if I want to get down on the floor and do some yoga with them, if I want to get down on the floor and do some work with them, whatever it is, if they just want to sit on the floor and just talk, if they need to come in and take a nap, this space is open for them to do whatever. And that also includes our staff too. I actually even had a full parent meeting where I was able to come in and we just sat there in this open area in my office. And so many of our staff members have been like, "Wait, are you in? Oh, I like this. What are you doing?" So this is just us. And I'm like, "Do you like it?" And they're like, "I do. It's inviting, and so that's the way I want people to see me, not just when I'm out and about in the community, but when they also come in here. But it's also this space of, if our social worker, because, we have our social worker that goes from building to building. She may not have a designated area. And in our building, if we have a counselor that comes in from outside resources that also needs a space, like I'm good to just take my stuff and go out in the building. And if they need to use my space to have some conversations, if an office space defines who I am, then I really need to check out who I'm serving, right? If an office space if a title is going to define me, then I really need to check myself. So I want this to be a space, not just for me to use, but for any parts of my staff in the building to be able to utilize. If they need that space to be with a student in our building, or even with families that come in. So it's just been this whole process of just redesigning it. I want it to be a nice calming space, but also vibrant in the same sense, like a red color is really It's really fun to have. It's really vibrant. But
you're the assistant principal. It should be a torturous environment. So that makes perfect sense.
So yeah, just like I'm looking at creating like this bamboo mural on the back space. I think when we think about bamboo, right, we plant seeds. We don't see the growth right away. So I think when my staff members come in and they're really defeated, like I'm not seeing growth from this student, and I don't know where to go with this. Like I can just say, turn around, look at that area behind you. You may not see the growth right now, but just like bamboo, 5 years from now, it's going to grow. It's going to blossom. And it's hard because, right, you're watering something that I think Les Brown talks about. He has a great talk about it. We're watering something and people are looking at us like, what's this guy doing or this girl doing over here? Or what are they doing? They're watering nothing. We're watering people and students, and we're molding them into something that's going to create something so great in our community, but also to change the lives of this world too. But I think about bamboo, it's strength too. It's resilience. So I think just it's such a conversational piece, not just to have with our staff members when they come in and feel defeated, but I can also have those conversations with families and students too. So just really creating the space that, I'm a deep thinker, I'm an emotional thinker, but I want to use things in my office that I can show them as visuals. You can do this, and I'm here to support you in this space, not just now, but for many years to come too.
It is amazing to me how you took such a simple thing of I thought about rearranging my office to such a profound message about the thoughtfulness of not the space, the things that are in the space that can start a conversation or open up for. I mean, I'm sitting there going, we were like joking about the red flag, and then we got to that right there. That was amazing. Like
seriously, you are such a better person than me. First of all, you're thinking about like wall tattoos, right? Like you want to have these symbolic gestures that people can look at and think deep thoughts. And I'm sitting here thinking about my office space. You're trying to make it inviting, and I'm trying to stack stuff in front of the door so nobody can open the door, right? I'm trying to keep people out, and you're like, no, I want everybody to come in. And I'm just like, oh, I am such a shallow person.
Because over there from my office is like a living area, and I want a wall because mine is a little too welcoming. I've come down and talked to Daddy when he's on a live stream, and I'm like, can I put a wall or like a guard, maybe like something like an actual like knight with I don't know. No, that's crazy. So do you feel like it's done, or are you still working? Okay.
Well, no, it's just beginning. Okay. And I think my boss is a little bit nervous about it because he knows when I have these ideas, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm really excited. This is why I hired you. And then he's like, oh my gosh, like she's going to bring Disney in, and like, it's not going to be a small world after all. And but what's great is he fully embraces the person that I am. Like, I'm like, I have this really great idea. And he's like, okay, yeah, run with it. And then he always reassures me, like, because that's why I hired you. And we're totally different leaders, like he's not this jacked up, amped up person, but he is this he calms me down. But he embraces, and we really bounce ideas off of each other. And anything that I'm like, I have this idea, he's like, yes, go.
So something tells me your door is open right now, and you saw that he's sitting out there, and you're just saying this loud enough for him to hear, right? Is that the plan with all of this? Because if so, well done.
I'm not. Maverick is not out there. He is not there. But I always make sure that I say things like this because I don't think that we tell our pilots, our co-pilots, everybody, that's with us, surrounding us enough, just how much we truly appreciate them and value them. And yes, it is Assistant Principal Week, but I wouldn't continue to grow into the assistant principal that I am if it wasn't for him just to guide me and lead me, but also, the other assistant principals in our district, and even those administrators that have fully embraced my crazy, quirky ideas.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, to echo what Jeff said, the what you thinking, we started, you said you're rearranging your office, and I was going to jokingly say, well, where are you putting the Play-Doh and Legos? Because I know those are the most essential things for any assistant principal to have in their office, but you're not worried about just occupying time. You're all like, you want to rearrange your office to change lives, not to just make activities. So again, much better person than I am. Definitely a better person than Jeff, but you're even a better person than me. And that little answer articulated it. So thanks for making all of us feel so small and feeling like we now need to go, is it feng shui or whatever it is, like go around our whole house and make sure there's form and function to everything. So thanks for ruining my weekend now. I got to go rearrange the living room.
Yeah, but I can't build Legos with kids if I can't build a relationship with them first. And I can't build that relationship with our staff either if they don't feel open and welcome to come in and talk. And that's what I want them to do.
I love it. All about having fun. All about having fun and making it a light place where everybody can just get along and smile and laugh. So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I love it.
Well, Jeff, what are you all thinking?
I'm thinking now I just want to have some fun because I've the to-do list now that I just came up with for my own office space in the house is just enormous. And I want to just deflect all that and worry about that at another time.
All right, so we want to get into a game then? Is that what you're saying, Dave?
That's kind of what I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. Welcome back to Brain Break. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And it's game time. Dave,
it is
you got
game
something
time
for us today? You said you have something. I'm a little nervous, but
no, it's easy. So
we
play lots of different games on here. Brian Fennell gives us lots of cool activities and games that we can take and put into our classrooms and our schools or around our dinner tables and all kinds of amazing activities that we can shift and shape for our own pedagogical needs. But sometimes we just need to sit back a little bit and use the games to get to know people a little bit better. And sometimes we need to rely on the classics, the oldies, but the goodies. And today I thought we could put Megan to the test a little bit. She's been with us for a while. She is family. She's part of who we are. And I thought we could kind of hold her accountable to see how much she really knows about us and the team. Two Truths and a Lie. Two Truths and a Lie starring Megan Anderson. So the way that I see this playing out is that we'll each be able to come up with two truths and a lie for the others. And then we have to try to sift through what's the lie in the situation. I've got a couple of examples just to roll us through this so that we can see how this game is played. And so people that have never experienced two truths and a lie before can see it modeled. But before I do that, pedagogically, thousands of ways to play this game. Obviously, in your classroom with math, you can come up with multiple solutions or formulas that you could use to solve an equation. And students have to identify two of them that would work and one that doesn't. Typically, in multiple choice, we're looking for the one right answer. This is when you are sifting through trying to figure out which one doesn't work. It's a completely different analytical skill that you're using. So you do the same thing with social studies, facts and figures. You look at patterns and shapes and colors. Which thing doesn't fit, which thing doesn't belong. So we could even play it like with looking at the three of us on the screen, one of us doesn't belong. You could go simplistically and say, well, Megan's a female, she doesn't belong. We could say, Jeff isn't cool, so he doesn't belong. We could say, Dave doesn't have hair, he doesn't belong. So we could do it in a lot of different ways. But instead, Megan Anderson, do you want to do two truths and a lie just to get us started? And I'll share a couple and you go through this.
I wish you'd have prepped me.
No, it's no fun with that.
Yeah, I'm writing down because I'm like, I have to think about it. I have to think through two truths.
Yeah, I got you. So I've got a couple written down. Okay. So with this, I don't want you to just tell me what the lie is. You also need to explain your answer. Okay. So two truths and a lie. So two of these are true. One is a lie. Our first example. Jeff is cool. Dave is cool. Megan is cool.
Ooh,
two truths and a lie, Megan.
Two truths. Okay, I got this one. That was so easy. Jeff and I, way cool.
Wow. Dave and I know why. Come on, I'm with you. I'm with you. You have to
Okay.
explain the lie, right? You have to explain why you got to the answer. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying, Dave?
So why is Dave is cool a lie?
Why is oh man, there's
Just crumble my spirits here, Megan.
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a. He's from
Okay.
yeah. That's
Mhm.
that's not cool. 2. It's not cool that you live in Florida and we have to suffer with this Ohio weather. Okay, that's not cool. And then he posts pictures to like, Instagram and Twitter, like, oh, here's my scenic background. How's everybody else doing today? And it's
And on average, he's probably warmer than us too. So we're literally cooler.
You're literally
Yeah.
okay.
And April Fool's Day, we get snow here in Ohio. Like that's not really a joke. We did, So I'm gonna start off with those two. It's not cool, Dave. It's just
So
not.
just to clarify, it wasn't. It's not cool. You said Dave isn't cool. Yeah, you said I'm not cool, and I thank God we've got Joe here who can validate that that I even exist because you just crushed my spirit. Obviously, the right answer for this one is Megan is cool. Is the outlier. Not the answer I was going to say originally, but it's definitely the right answer now.
I think there's a song like that, right? You think you're cooler than me, right? Isn't that?
I think there is a song that, yeah.
It probably didn't. Sorry, I don't. The vocals, it's not there.
know.
I get it, Dave.
Okay. I think it's called Dave's song, isn't it? It's a country thing. We'll figure it out. We'll write it.
Okay.
On the way to the
you're cooler
conference.
than me. You drop your kids in the combine. I don't know. Merging it all together. I don't know. Okay. So you get the premise of the game. So sometimes you literally give two truths and a falsehood, or sometimes you give 3 things just for people to have to form their opinion, so they can see how 2 things are similar, and they have to pull one thing to the side. So go a lot of different directions. Okay. You guys want another example, or
let's do another example? Yeah, can you give us an example that's less playful? That's more like
sure. It should be an easy one for you guys.
I regret that.
No.
Request.
So here it is: Michigan sucks, Ohio sucks, or Florida sucks. 2 truths and a lie. Who are you going to defend today?
2 lies and a truth.
I was going to say that kind of sounds like 2 lies and a truth, doesn't it? That's what I was thinking.
So with this again, now you have to look for similarities. Like if I'm making you say either Florida or Michigan, is a lie, right? That you have to pay a compliment to one of those somehow. So what do they have in common with Ohio? Or in my mind, easily it would be Ohio sucks is a truth. I would probably. Well, no, that would be tough for me to say whether Michigan or Florida sucks more. But that'd be a tough one. So I'm wondering what is yours right now? Because the 2 truths is easy. Your lie, Ohio sucks. Is that where you're both going with that?
Yeah, that's where I would go. Yeah, but I'm thinking but from your angle, that's not how you would go.
So I feel like now we're going deep, like with the conversation we had a month ago on Brain Break, where you're trying to predict what I'm thinking and trying to figure out how to respond based off of what you perceive my thoughts to be. Oh, that's just.
So I guess I'm going from you told us that 2 of those are the truth and one of them is lies. So you're the one who knows that, and it's purely based on opinions, which means it's your opinion, right? Yes.
You're saying those are opinions? Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I understand that your opinions in your mind are fact, but they aren't always.
Thank you. Okay.
So, unfortunately,
So we get how the game is played?
I'm gonna say mine is that the 2 truths are that, or it's 2. Oh, so 2 of them suck and one of them doesn't.
Back to 2 lies and a truth.
Yeah, it's 2. Yeah. I mean, the lie is Ohio sucks, and that's just because Megan's here, which means it can't.
There you go. Fair enough.
Okay. That's my answer.
Fair enough.
Gator bait. Is that what he's saying we are?
I love how everything gets turned into song here. It's all right.
Because that's what I do. Songs and inspirational movies. That's what I do. Ask my staff all the time. They're like, can I just talk and we don't break out?
Can we not break out into a show too? Is that okay?
And I say, well,
every time you talk to somebody, it's jazz hands.
If I don't laugh, then I cry, right? It's that emotional person in me.
Awesome. Love it. All right. So now, either one of you have 2 truths and a lie that you want to share?
I feel like when you first said it, I was like, oh, like 2 truths about me and a lie
go
about
for it.
me.
That's
I'm
totally
like,
fine.
that's not. But yours
Totally
weren't that.
fine.
Yours were like ones that invoked conversation because they could be anything.
I
like,
simply gave a
versus-
different slant on a classic
I know,
game.
which has got
Feel
me
free to
thinking
be
all kinds
boring
of
and do it the
things.
old-fashioned way.
No, so now I'm trying to think of a better way to do it because I actually like that it's more up for interpretation versus just strictly these are true or not.
But Jeff, really, is there any truth in the world? Is there anything that we can
No.
hold our hands on and say it is fact? I don't know. Never mind.
Oh my God.
I want Megan to go.
I'm really glad it was your last choice for this brain break.
You were the last choice because you were the first one to say yes, so we didn't have to choose anymore. That's all.
Yeah, otherwise we would have continued.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
It's hard to
I think I've got him.
Okay, she's got one.
Let's do it, Megan.
Okay. All right. I met my husband in phonics class.
Okay.
This is hard. I don't really like to lie, Dave. I really don't like to lie. And I don't have a good poker face either. So that's what's hard too.
So I already know that the first one is our definition of truth. And I have a feeling Jeff now knows that as well. Since you gave us one.
All right. Okay.
I can't come up with a lie.
This is hard. It's so hard. All right. Now we're down. You got a 50-50 shot. You're right. Okay.
So let's just sit on that one while you're thinking of your next one. Did you realize this whole conversation, Jeff, that she just said she met her husband in phonics and that, like, for the rest of her life, she talks about how she's hooked on phonics and hooked on phonics worked for her. So,
okay. All right. Cool. I got it. Okay. I got to stop you before I forget.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was a morning intern on a radio show.
Okay.
Okay. And I got a 30 on my ACT.
So an intern on a morning radio show, or she got a 30 on her ACT.
And I met my husband in phonics class.
Well, we know the first one's true. So we got to go. The lie is one of the other two.
So is she more of like a radio DJ type of girl, or do you think she's smart?
Well, she didn't say this. Like, I mean, if the 30 is a lie, it could be one off.
Or maybe she got a 34.
Yeah, it could go either way or whatever. So it doesn't necessarily mean she's
no way.
I'm saying the lie is the 30. I think you have been an intern on a radio show.
Why do you think that's a lie, Jeff? I'm curious.
I don't know why. I could just see her being working at a radio station.
You can't see her scoring a 30?
No, I just think because the 30 could
31.
By saying not a 30 doesn't mean that I think it's a 0.
I think she took the SAT. And I think she got like a 1500 on the SAT, and she never took the ACT. Is that
she's smiling about it?
All right, I'm gonna go with the radio DJ as well.
As the truth?
Yeah. Or the lie.
No, I want the lie as the.
I'm sorry, the lie is that the same thing. What you said is what I'm saying.
I don't know that you know how to play the game.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Two truths and a lie. Dave made this game. Dave knows how to play the game. No, go ahead.
Which one's the lie?
The lie is obviously the ACT 30. Actually, I scored a 15 on my ACT. I was told I would never make it.
Wow.
Wasn't accepted into Ohio State when I first started because my ACT score was too low. And my parents built me up. I had extreme testing anxiety. My mom always told me I was going to be an educator and didn't really want to go into that at first because I had to take a test. But that's where my heart was. And really it inspires me to have those tough conversations about testing with my kiddos because I understand their heart. And if you want to do something and you want to be something, that's just a label. And we really have to look past those labels. So in the beginning, I was really embarrassed to share what I got. And now I just look at it as I used it as fuel to my fire to build my passion and inspire others that our heart, right? That podcast, Dave, it matters more than our label does.
For sure. So I actually knew that story and the way that you tell it is so much more powerful than me just joking about it. So I'm glad that you unpacked that. So much that we can learn just from that little example. I'll let other people make their own connections as opposed to me preaching about assessments and ACTs right now, because I think they get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's testing season, right?
There you go. Jeff?
2 truths and a lie. All right. 2 truths and a lie. Let's see here. I am 85% blind in one of my eyes. I once rescued a shark in the ocean. And I have never been to Texas.
You know what is super funny is that we played this game a couple of times. And
say, Dave, you probably know any of the ones that because it's probably ones that I've used.
2 of those you've shared.
I have.
Other times we played this game. Yes.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I'm wondering if
So
anybody else can pick up on that.
We're going to let Megan go first then, I'm guessing. Because
we're going to see how often Megan actually watches Brain Break. That's what we're doing right now.
That's what we're going to see.
That's a test.
I'm pretty sure that was a not often.
Wow, was that a truth or a lie? What is happening right now? Okay. All right. I am going with
85% blind in one eye, rescued a shark, never been in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking of songs and quotes to go along with this as you're doing it. I'm gonna say the truth is
2 truths, 1 lie.
Yeah. Rescued a shark.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
You can see Jeff being brave enough to rescue a shark.
Well, he's a Browns fan, so I think if you're a Browns fan, you're obviously brave enough. I am too, though. I am too, so don't take that. I was just trying to throw something funny out.
So that's one of your guesses for the truth. What's the other guess for the truth? So which one's the lie? Since I'm out here rescuing great whites and stuff.
I'm trying to put a spin on it here, Jeff. All right. I think you've been to Texas because I think you travel a lot. Am I supposed to be explaining this? Or
that's perfect. Yeah.
I like you explaining. Yeah.
Okay. So I think you travel a lot. So I think you've probably been to Texas.
So you think the lie is that I have been to Texas?
No. I think yeah.
Yeah, so then the truth would be that I rescued a shark and that I'm 85% blind in one of my eyes.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm going to let you, since I think you probably know based on apparently because I use the same things all the time. There's only a couple things I can share.
So the shark was a shark about this big.
Okay.
It was in the Carolinas, and I think it was one of your kids saw it, and you picked up and threw it into the ocean, and it swam away, and you were like the hero of the day. Yes, the blind conversation is a conversation that fascinated me the first time we had that conversation. Texas, I don't know why you would have ever gone to Texas. You do travel quite a bit. We do some work in Texas, but I don't know that you've ever gone there to do to do the work. I know you're heading to California really soon. You're going to, I don't know where Histy is this year, but you're going there soon. You've been to Illinois quite a bit. You've been to Canada quite a bit. You've been to real Florida, not fake Florida. You've been to the Carolinas, but I don't think I've ever heard you tell a story about time in Texas. So I'm going to stick with that one as well.
That you think?
I don't think you've ever been to Texas.
What I said was that I've never been to Texas. So you think that's true? Then one of the other ones would have to be a lie. And you've already claimed that they're both true. So maybe you don't know me as well as you think you do.
Okay, I'm going to say that you have been to Texas then, and that's the lie.
I have been to Texas a few times. It was before Dave. It was BD. Our first client in Texas, I went there the first couple times we went. Maybe two times, 3 times. I can't remember how. It's only been like twice, two or three times to Dallas. I did rescue the shark. It was a small one. It wasn't my kids. My kids weren't alive at that point. I saw it. I thought it was like a weird glitch in the sand, and then my wife revived it back to life, and I carried it out in the ocean, let it go, which was
Did you know his wife knows shark mouth to mouth? Isn't that impressive? Like, it's crazy. Or do you mouth the gill? How do you revive a shark? What does that even mean?
You just move it around the water because that's how sharks
okay.
get oxygen in the water, is by moving. So you just have to
like blowing air into the gills.
We had a big hole dug for my nephew at the time, so we took him out first, and then got the shark back to life there, and then.
Would have been such a better story if you didn't take him out first. You just started filling it with water and threw the shark in.
And then after a whole bunch of different people who were walking by the beach stopped and looked at it and everything like that, I carried it back out about waist deep and let it go. It was really cool because I love sharks. So it was like a really cool experience. I am 85% blind in my left eye. I have morning glory syndrome in there. So I've always had that. Yeah, but I have in Texas. That was the lie.
There
you go.
Do.
It was about this big. It was not a little shark, but like not like a teeny tiny thing, but like it could have bit me and it would have hurt.
You know
I think
what
it could have done some damage, but it wasn't like a shark, like a
I think it's that like couples retreat where he gets the shark fin like
it's this little teeny,
and he's like, ah!
It's almost like a little fingernail scratch that he's got. I got a shark bite here. I'm traumatized.
Jeff, question about the 85% blind thing.
Yo.
So, like, I'm trying to figure out how this works. So, if you were to cover the eye that's not blind and just look through the one that's 85% blind, do you only see 15% of me? Like, what exactly does that mean? Where you're, I like a real question. Like, what does it mean to be able to see 15%?
It's only like half your arm.
Like,
no, it's it's blurry, meaning so as you lose your sight, things get blurry and blurry and blurry.
Okay.
So it's
so were you born with it?
Yeah, I was born with it. Yeah. It's
Could
like
it get worse.
What's that?
Could it get worse, or is it?
So for a long time, they thought it was. For up until about 10 years ago, it was essentially like guaranteed that my retina would detach and I would go fully blind.
Mm-hmm.
In the last decade or so, more and more as they've studied more and more patients, because there's not many people who have it, they've been able to determine that actually that's not a foregone conclusion. A lot of people, it just always stays and everything's fine. So mine has not shown consistent deterioration and lead into detachment. So it's never gotten worse. It may or may not when I go, but I've never seen 3D. Like that doesn't work because I don't have two eyes to make the trick work.
Okay. I thought you just meant like in real life. I was like, oh my gosh, that is crazy. Like everything is 2D for you, but you mean like
no, like a yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Everything's flutter for me.
So like
my entire life is basically like watching Mario. No, like I don't see 3D like images and like I remember I don't know why it's one of those memories that stick with me. We were down in Florida and it was like the Michael Jackson experience at in Orlando or whatever, and it was like a 3D thing. It was like a huge thing at the time, and like I'm watching them, just like just take these off because I'm just watching a movie at this point. So yeah, so I've always had had the sports goggles, special glasses that have had bulletproof glasses and stuff when I was younger because they wanted to protect this eye so much. And yeah, when I was a kid, for a while, they made me wear a patch on my right eye for a long time because they thought they just needed to strengthen it, and then they realized. But my ophthalmologist, she retired a few years ago, but she was one of the top 2 ophthalmologists in the country, and I was her only patient in 40 years that she ever had with it.
Wow!
And so when I was younger, I used to have to fly in a specialist who now actually is in Ohio. So I see a specialist and stuff regarding it and whatnot. Basically, just the guy I go pay a whole bunch of money to for him to be like, "Yep, still in there." That's pretty.
Is it hereditary?
No connection, nothing. It's just one of those things.
Wow.
So, yeah, I when my kids were born, it was like that was probably my biggest fear. I was terrified that they were going to have it and they don't. So, I was really worried. It was like because I didn't know, like they said it wasn't hereditary, but I'm like, maybe, but yeah. So that's that.
Well, thanks for filling in. I was genuinely curious. So now,
I can see, like, I see my hand over here, I can see it, but like if you put numbers over here, I wouldn't be able to read it. So like, when you go to the doctor and you have like, you read the letters and stuff, when they do this eye, I'm like, I know there's an E there because I've seen it a million times, but like, I can't read it. I just know it's there. And they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, so stop trying. I'm not going to read anything. So like I can see it and everything like that. But if anything happened to my right eye, I wouldn't be able to drive or anything like that. So, but like it works still. Like I have my peripheral, it's just not as clear. So now what does happen is that like because I just don't use that eye as much, my body changes and I use my right eye a lot more. So like there's times where like it's almost like this turns off. My left eye turns off. There was when I was in high school, my friends thought it was hilarious. Like we were out camping or doing whatever, like a bug landed on my glasses here. I just never noticed it because like I don't, unless something's in like catching my peripheral, I don't use it because I'm just focused on this. And my friends were like losing it because like this bug's crawling on my glasses. And I'm like, oh, like that's weird, but because it didn't impact my eye. So it's also why I really struggled. Like for a long time, I wanted contacts, but I couldn't. It was so hard to put in because you don't realize that when you put in contacts, you're looking with this eye to guide in. I'm not. My eye's looking at my finger the whole time, and I'm like, it doesn't work.
Never
Put it on my left eye, so it's fun little things you don't think about.
It's so fascinating too. So wow, again, thank you. That's so informative.
Anyway, so that's that. Yeah. So, and that's why a lot of times I use that because I don't know why. I don't know. Anyway, so blind, sharks, and I've been to Texas. Hurrah. Also been to Florida.
There we go. 2 truths and a lie. That was fun. Thanks and informative.
All right, so we need to get into figuring out what's going on, like in the Teach Better world. I guess. What do you think? We're almost done here. Like you almost made it, Megan. You almost made it. I'm gonna see if you can survive the last.
Almost, because I only had one lie and one truth.
The first thing I wanted to say is that Megan, you are the truth.
Ooh, boom. Megan the Truth Anderson. I like that.
Dave, we got a lots going on the team, man. What do you got for us here?
Well, let's start with somebody that we all know and respect. Are you familiar with the work of Joshua _Stamper?
I've heard of him. Yes.
Yeah, he's amazing. I was actually just on a phone call with him last night. He was driving home. I was sitting in the airport. We were just talking, just connecting. And the guy is brilliant. He is so kind, so compassionate, and so stinking. The fact that he released a book last year.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We did a video and a party. It was a blast.
It was amazing, right?
Back in September.
Did you know that there is now a book study to go along with that book?
A book study.
Tell
me more.
Did you know that this book study is now available in the Teach Better Academy?
I do. You know how I know that? No. Well, what I should probably know it since I'm on the team. But I actually got to edit the course videos.
What?
And there are a lot of them. He put a lot into this course. It's a good course. There's a lot. Like there's a lot of content in this course to guide you through the entire book. So it released last week.
Yeah,
for a week now.
So if you're looking for something to hook up with your assistant principal with, like for assistant principal week, that might be just the thing. Just
get
saying.
The book, and the book study course is free. So you can get the book and then have them go through the bookstore study. And it's all Josh. It's Josh leading you through the whole thing. He defined it. He and I went live last week to talk about it, and he kind of explained it. He kind of thought it was like the director's cut, where you get like the little extra pieces that had to get cut out of the movie. Same type of thing, right? Because when you write a book, a lot of times you got to cut a lot of it out because you have to try to stay in certain word ranges. Well, he gets to add. You get the little extra. Also, here's what I was thinking around that. Here's what I really wanted you to take away from that. So it's a good course.
Love it.
It's good
I know
stuff.
Megan and I have had conversations about writing books before as well. So I'm just going to throw that little nugget out there again, Megan. Let that be a nudge. Let that be a push. Let that be whatever it is. So
cough.
Yeah, right. So that's one thing. But
that's
speaking
awesome.
of books, Jeff Gargas, did you know that there's coming a time in the very near future where there's a bookstore filled with amazing books that people are going to be able to grab in person, maybe even meet authors, sign books, like do all of those things. And people can come to Akron, Ohio, meet some authors, buy some amazing books. At the conference, we're going to have a bookstore. Did you know that, Jeff Gargas?
No, but this sounds like a fantastic idea.
It's an amazing idea. I'm so glad you said no, you didn't know. Megan Anderson, did you know that there would be a bookstore at the conference?
I'm ecstatic now.
There's the reason to go right there.
Because I didn't bring my books for you to sign to Destin. You know,
Slacker.
So now is the time.
Slacker. Yeah, absolutely.
No, so give me a book. Tell us more about the bookstore. Like,
so the bookstore. So
it can all be spilled on the table here.
Sweet. Okay. So if you're an author, if you've written a book and you're looking to come to the conference, you're like, man, I wish I had a way to sell my books. There's a bookstore. So you can offset your cost to the conferences by selling your books in the bookstore at the conference, right? Because authors are gonna get a cut. There's gonna be money to be made, but there's also gonna be an opportunity for you to meet and greet people. There's gonna be an opportunity for basically, if there's an educational book out there that you want, we're going to do what we can to try to get it there at the bookstore for you to be able to buy. It's going to be amazing if you're presenting at the conference, if you're going to be at the conference, if you're not going to be at the conference, but you want us to be able to house your books, to make them easily accessible for people. Bookstore is going to be available. And we're going to have the application process for that going out very, very soon. But if you're an author, have that in the back of your mind. Your books available at the Teach Better Conference.
I actually think you can already get there if you go over to teachbetterconference.com, go into sponsor. There's a bookstore link there. Or if you go to teachbetterconference.com/conference-bookstore, which seems like a longer thing. I should have changed that. But you can't. I think, Dave, the big point that I want to house on that I love is that, like, you don't have to be speaking at the conference. A lot of times it's limited to, like, the books of the presenters and stuff. This is, if you have a book, like, you don't have to, like Dave said, you don't have to come. We hope you'd come. But you don't have to. Just ship it to Dave and he'll sell it for you. Right?
Done and
doneer.
Love it.
So make sure you check it out. Everything's over at teachbetterconference.com. You should register while you're there and come out. And if you got a book, get it in the bookstore. If you don't have a book, but you love books, that's another reason to come, because you can get to hang out, like Dave said, meet authors, buy a whole bunch of books. We're probably going to have some bundles. Who knows? Like, there can be some opportunities for you there. So we are officially at time. We're actually over time.
Jeez, Megan.
2 minutes overtime because Megan just wouldn't stop.
Jeez.
And we couldn't wrap it up. So anyway, no, Megan, thank you so much for hanging out with us and goofing around with us and making us cry right off the bat and being profound when Dave and I were unable to be.
And Megan, if your husband isn't aware that this ends right now, feel free to just stay in your office and act like you're doing brain break longer. Jeff, same thing. We know that Amy has no idea that what you're doing or she's not listening. So feel free to just act like you're still talking to me if you want to. I'm going to go actually hang out at soccer practice with my kids, but you guys do your thing.
I'm gonna go figure out dinner in an hour or so. I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna act like I'm talking for a while. I actually have like a recording that I play that's just me talking, and so I don't even have to actually like act.
Like Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, it's like Ferris Bueller. It's just like I put it at the bottom of the stairs so they can hear it better. Like it's just like a laugh every now and then, like a Dave, you're funny. Michigan sucks. Like it's just random lines like that. Like it's hilarious. Like so I should do that. That should be fun. No, anyway,
that's super smart. Just play the YouTube channel in the background and walk away.
I should, yeah, that would be a lot easier. Anyway, appreciate you, Megan. Appreciate everybody watching, dropping in. We'll be live again next week, same time, same place. If you need anything at all, as always, reach out, let us know. We appreciate you. Have an awesome rest of your Wednesday. See you guys.